Hello, everybody, and welcome to Plugin School Openers. My name's Karistina Lafae. I'm your host. The wonderful co-host is Tomas. Um, Tomas has already shared the link to my YouTube channel where you can catch all the recordings of past Plugin School sessions. My screen is on dark mode, so yours might look different. Yours probably looks pink, unless you've changed the theme yourself. And I forgot to, update the description of the course to let you know what I meant by openers um, for this week's class and opening lines for your stories. We all want to have a good opening line because that's how you hook your readers, right? Um, And it can be really hard to craft a good opening line. And you rarely get it from just, generating your text. It's something you have to go back and manually figure out for yourself. Um, I knew there were a couple of plugins to help with opening lines, but I thought there were more than there actually are. So I have two that I'm gonna demonstrate, and then um, I have one that I started playing with that we're gonna workshop because I'm not satisfied with the results, and maybe we can come up with a better solution together. Um, First one we're gonna take a look at is better openers. This is a plugin that was written by Vera. Over 2,000 people use it, and it's super high credit usage, meaning it's one of the older ones that uses GPT-4 32K. And that uses up the more credits than any other model, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to create a new plugin that uses a cheaper model. Um, and mine is actually based on this one. Um, Once you've already written some of the chapter, this plugin uses your chapter to craft a more compelling opening sentence or paragraph. Just highlight the text up to 1,000 words, and the plugin will write an opening line or paragraph to better establish the chapter. It returns 3 cards by default, which means we'll get 3 options for better opening sentences or paragraphs. All it looks at is highlighted text. So I have a couple of different test stories. Um, these are things that I am actively working on. Um, this is raw, unedited text we're looking at here. Um, so this is the beginning of a rock star romance novel I'm working on. The trope is widow finds love again, rock star biker, um, rom romantic interest.
Oh,
And this is not a very good opening paragraph to set the tone for that, where we have the ticking of the antique clock resonated through the dimly lit living room, each second a solemn reminder of time's relentless march forward. I mean, yeah, she's a widow, and it's almost the first anniversary of her husband's death, but this is a really terrible way to open a romance novel, in my opinion. Maybe other people are cool with this, but what we're going to do is we're going to run the Better Openers plugin. Although this has 1,500 words and we can only use up to 1,000. So let's just see how much we get here. There we go. Now we're going to search for Better Openers. And it's got the sunrise as the emoji, which helps us find it in the list. Oh, select fewer than 250 words. Well, that's different than what the instructions say. That's a bit frustrating. So 250 words then. we're not going to get very much out of this.
I think it said 250 less words.
Hmm?
I think it said 250 less words, fewer words. I think you just highlighted 250 too many.
Hmm. I highlighted like 900 and it said it takes 1,000. So in any case, it's not 1,000. So that's a good thing to realize when you're running the plugin. So I've got under 250 words highlighted and we'll see. Yeah, this is not going to do what this is writing the whole thing apparently. Okay, here we go. It's rewritten. Wow, my brain, words, la. Okay. So it rewrote the entire opening sequence here, which it put as one paragraph. Um, I do kind of like it a little bit better if I add in some line breaks because you can't just have one big paragraph. Your readers are going to look at that as your first page and be like, hell no. So we have in the hushed twilight of an aging house where the echoes of laughter and whispers of love lay buried under a thick veil of silence. Wow, this is purple. Robin found herself lost in the spectral dance of memories. Yeah, I'm not fond of that, but that could be a problem with the fact that this is raw AI generated text here. So, yes, and as John said a couple minutes ago in chat, a good opening line helps line up the AI to write from where you want to start. Um, but yeah, so I'm not liking this plugin for this purpose. Um, it cost 3,881 credits. That,
So I would say that it is poetic, it is lyric, it is a little maybe too purple, but it's kind of going for that initial statement kind of thing, right?
yeah,
I can see
yeah,
why it's doing this, and it would probably work better if given something that's quite dry or more mundane or more,
yeah,
yeah. So something where you need something to set it somewhere, and this could possibly work.
yes. And just to test it on different material, which apparently I have to limit the number of words. Um, I have a cozy mystery. That's too many. Nope,
No,
I broke it.
hurts.
My arrows are broken. So let's just do this. Okay. Better openers again. And this one starts with as the first light of dawn broke. Oh boy. Oh, and we get a little did they know that this day starting with an online quest. Yeah, we're not gonna run that. Oh, it did run twice. Or it has multiple cards. That's right. We get 3 cards for each of them, which I forgot. So we can check the other cards for the Rockstar one too. In the heart of a house steeped in memories, the relentless rhythm of an antique clock echoed in the stillness, its insistent tick-tock, a stark reminder of life's fleeting nature. That's a good opening line for something a bit darker, I think. Um, So that's interesting. In the Twilight's hush. Yeah. So yeah, that was that. And for the cozy mystery, let's look at the other ones. Quiet hush before dawn. We have a lot of hushed stillness with this. And this time around it costs 3,845. I just want to keep notes. And then there's my grimdark fan fiction, which this is like the prologue. So forget that my cursor actually will work now when I drag my mouse. It did not on my old computer. Okay, better openers on this one would not be hard to do better than this. Oh yeah, here we go. In the sprawling metallic hive city of Cerebra, under the spectral glow of its many moons, a grand celebration echoed with laughter and whispered secrets. The grandeur of House Midkiff, a beacon of nobility amidst the towering spires, was alive with an extravagant gala. Ophelia Midkiff, a daughter born of privilege, yet instilled with a heart of kindness, watched from the balcony as her father, a jovial man with a knack for navigating the treacherous waters of noble politics, engaged in hushed conversations. Wow, that was 2 sentences. But I kind of like them. In the heart of the bustling hive world, Cerebra, beneath a sky of countless moons, the noble Midkiff household surged with palpable tension. That's a shorter opening sentence for this, um, which is also not bad. In the shadowed corridors of Cerebra, hive world bathed in the ethereal light of myriad moons, Ophelia Midkiff, a scion of nobility, stood on the precipice of her destiny. Actually, I think I like this one the best for the tone of this story. um, I wrote it based on a role-playing game we played, Dark Heresy in the Warhammer 40K universe, which I am scraping the serial numbers off for this fanfic. And this started as just a narrative of our campaign. Um, but I really like this here. I'm definitely going to use this. And this one cost us 3,720 credits. So while it is one of the more expensive plugins or models to run, you're only running it on a limited amount of highlighted text. So you're not gonna be going crazy, wasting a lot of credits using it, even though it is one of the high credit usage models. What was that?
I think that was outside noise.
Okay. So that was the Better Openers plugin that this was the inspiration for this class. Um, and just I think I forgot to actually read the instructions. It says use the information in the provided passage, craft an opening line or paragraph for the passage that immediately establishes atmosphere, engages multiple senses, hints at character relationships and dynamics, and or introduces subtle intrigue. I think the and or is probably messing up the LLM a bit here. Ensure there's an element of immediate action or consequence, a glimpse of world building, and or a tone that can range from tense to playful, reflecting the nature of the narrative. Um, yeah, I think I see where it's having some issues determining whether or not to use one or more of those things. The next plugin I found was Catchy Opening. This plugin helps authors who struggle writing that end-all be-all first sentence. This was written by Mara Haste. It's medium credit usage. And this one looks at preceding text, highlighted text, brain dump, genre, style, synopsis, characters, and outline. And it's a two-step plugin. We might need to actually open the projects for this instead of using it on the test here because I don't have their story Bibles. So let's just use this here and we will, oh, I don't even have story Bible for this, so we can run this in the test. Did it say? It did not say how many characters or how many words we can. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Oh, you know what? This is not going to be good for highlighting, so I will just save that somewhere else. Let's see. Okay, there are no emojis to help me find this. Nope, nope, nope. Sorry about this. Okay, maybe I added it after I opened this page. Because that happens sometimes. And Catchy Opening is the name. Here we go. That worked this time. Catchy Opening. In the realm of noble secrets and cosmic loyalty, Ophelia Midkiff's transformation from a pampered heiress to a perceptive acolyte of the Inquisition will captivate your imagination like never before. That seems like a pretty good, short blurb. Not quite an opening line. Let's test it on. This was the Rockstar one. It did let us highlight that whole chapter. So it has a good context window. Oh, Claire, you made me a present?
I did. I
Excellent.
even left the instructions open. I came at it from a different angle. I just thought you might have fun poking
You
it and
are
going, this is terrible.
awesome. I'm actually gonna go ahead and toss this in here so I can add it. We're gonna put it in my document too. That way we make sure it is listed in the description of the YouTube video so people can just grab the link to it from there. Excellent. Okay, we're going to run Catchy Opening, and we got the antique timepiece in the dimly lit living room counted off the seconds with a somber melody, a poignant reminder of time's unwavering advance. That is an opening, at least this time. I don't know about Catchy. The first time we ran it, it was 713 credits, and the second time with a whole story Bible was just 3,500 credits. Constantly having to move floating taskbars out of my way here. Okay. So I'm not sure that's the best opening line we could have come up with here. We can try it again. I think this is one I'd like if it had multiple cards, since it does look at your whole story Bible. To create an open line, it would be nice if it gave you like 3 different cards. Yeah, this is only going to give us more about the antique clock. Cozy mystery. I can try it on the cozy mystery as well. In the gentle embrace of dawn's first light, not lice, Marigold Wells found herself ensnared in the captivating labyrinth of the digital realm. Well, it's definitely punchier than how this starts right now. Still, we've got the gentle embrace of dawn's first light, which is a problem with the highlighted text. I will point that out. These do seem to be biased toward keeping. This one does seem to be biased towards keeping the original opening line fairly uh the adjective is faithfully. We'll go with that. I don't want to get caught up trying to think of the right adjective here. But now we're gonna check out Claire's wonderful new brilliant opening lines opus, which she left the instructions for. So it will read as much of your story Bible as you have filled in. Create 3 potential opening lines for your novel. We've got genre, style, characters, outline, synopsis, brain dump, world building, scene summary, beats. I like your prohibited words. Thank you. That is a present. Okay, so we don't have Story Bible on here, but I'm gonna just for the sake of the class, going to run them quickly rather than thoroughly, just to see what it will do first without Story Bible. Since we do have Opus here. Did I refresh my screen? I don't know. Let's do it now. It'd be nice if you could just refresh your plugins, but every time you add a new plugin, you do have to refresh your browser. Brilliant opening lines. And it is reading a lot here, so okay. Ooh. Okay, that's not really relevant here, but we do have I didn't give it Story Bible.
Yeah, I think it's just made that up from absolutely nothing.
Did. All right, so let's do it from
Because
an
it's
actual
only looking at story
something
Bible.
with an actual Story Bible.
Maybe I should have set it to also potentially look at highlighted or preceding text.
Oh, that's kind of funny, actually. Why are we not finding it here? Well, let's scroll to the bottom and see if it put it there, because that's usually, no, it's not even putting new ones that I add at the bottom anymore. Brilliant, right? Whoops, I closed it accidentally. Brilliant opening lines. Oh, damn it. It's not, it's a different window, so that's the problem. I have to refresh this one as well. So these are some of the frustrations we have with the current way the plugins work and not being able to sort your directory. They are working on it eventually so that we can sort and organize and do all sorts of different things to organize our plugins, but here we go. Brilliant opening lines. Focus. Oh, this one wants me to jump right into the online conversation that my main character, Marigold, is having. Her username is Goldilocks, so it suggests Goldilocks, another missing persons case. Strange pattern emerging, all from small towns near Toledo. Anyone else notice this? It gives her a hashtag, which she would not post to this particular website, but I kind of like how it does. The explanation, yeah, this opening line immediately draws the reader into the mystery by presenting the key plot point of a pattern of missing persons cases. By using Marigold's online username and message board format, it establishes the digital sleuthing aspect that will be central to the story. The hashtag adds intrigue and hints at Marigold's involvement in an online community dedicated to investigating crimes. The concise, direct style sets a tone of urgency and determination that will define Marigold's character. I suppose she
I
is a
swear I banned determination.
she is a determined
Oh, no, I
character,
didn't.
so
I haven't banned the word.
opening line 2. I mean, it's determination isn't in the opening line, it's suggested just in the explanation of
That's
why
true.
it
That's
chose
true.
that. So there is that. Opening line 2, we have Marigold Wells stared at her laptop screen, the glow illuminating her face as she scoured the internet for clues. Though confined to her bed, Marigold's mind raced freely, determined to unravel the sinister disappearances that plagued the region. I would word that differently because it it's a little ableist. Uh, the confined to bed part is fine, but it it it's just it rubs me the wrong way. I am bedbound like my protagonist here, so. And opening line 3, we got the morning sun back. The morning sun peeked through the curtains of Marigold's bedroom, casting a warm glow on her laptop as she refreshed the Web Whispers forum. Amid chronic illness support threads and cheery check-ins from friends, one post stood out, a desperate plea for help finding a vanished loved one. I like that aside from the morning sun thing, which I could edit out pretty easily. This opening line establishes the setting of Marigold's bedroom and online world in a descriptive, immersive way. Mentioning the chronic illness support threads naturally introduces Marigold's disabilities as part of her daily digital life. The cheery check-ins hint at her positive online relationships, while the desperate plea redirects focus to the missing persons mystery, setting the story in motion. The warm, hopeful imagery of the morning sun, juxtaposed with the urgency of the post, sets a cozy yet suspenseful tone perfect for the genre. Well, it is a cozy mystery, so maybe occasionally we want stuff to sound a little cozy and talk about the sun, but I I would honestly try to come up with something either along the lines of this third suggestion or the first one here. I like it jumping right into the action too. That's kind of cool. As far as credit usage, all right, so the first time when it made stuff up because I didn't give it any Story Bible information, it was 2,937 credits. Now with the whole Story Bible, it took a look at, it cost 12,879 credits. However, that, you know, it might just be worth it because this was a terrible opening paragraph for my book here, and it gave me some stuff that I might actually use. So I'd say that's a worth it expenditure of credits. Let's switch over to the Rockstar one with the terrible ticking clock here. And it did find it on the page for me this time. I generated this text right before class because I only was working with the building the story Bible before. I only did pre-writing before class today, so I was generating it as everybody was coming in to the Zoom. So okay, Claire, this rocks.
Cool.
Rocks.
Yeah, I was really surprised with how good this is. Admittedly, it's opus, which it does nuance. I'd be
Yes.
curious to see how sonnet and haiku handle it.
And
it'll be very cool once we could toggle individual bits of the story Bible.
Yeah. Yes.
Because I was imagining
I can't
how
wait for those
cool
toggles.
Yeah. I was imagining how cool this would be if you only had, say, brain dump.
Yeah. I like this opening line here. I mean, grief clung to Robin like a heavy mist, shrouding even the happiest memories in a dull, aching haze. Explanation, it immediately sets a melancholic and bittersweet tone, hinting at the theme of grief that permeates Robin's life. Metaphor of grief as a heavy mist and the visual of happy memories being shrouded in a dull, aching haze engages the reader's senses and emotions. It introduces the key element of Robin's emotional state and aligns with the genre conventions of a contemporary romance dealing with heavy themes like loss and healing. Opening line 2. Well, I don't know if we've got the fading. I don't know if it's late afternoon, but in the fading light of an autumn afternoon, Robin traces her fingertips over the photograph, a silent tear escaping down her cheek as Jude's vibrant smile stared back at her from a forever lost moment. I like that forever lost moment. That's a nice little bit it came up with here. This line immediately draws the reader in with vivid poetic imagery that sets a wistful and nostalgic mood. Mentioning the fading light of an autumn afternoon evokes a sense of change and loss. Autumn does do that, so maybe this could be set in autumn. The intimate action of Robin tracing the photograph with tears on her cheeks invites the reader to empathize with her grief. Jude is introduced as a key figure from Robin's past, hinting at the love story and tragedy central to the plot. The phrasing, a forever lost moment, reinforces the permanence of the loss in an original way. That was what I grabbed onto from that intro. So, and then the third suggestion was Robin stared out the window as raindrops raced down the pane, each one a glistening reminder of the tears she could no longer cry on the eve of a day she dreaded most, the first anniversary of Jude's death. I kind of like it introducing exactly what day it is here. The opening line sends a somber, contemplative tone and mood, with the rainy imagery mirroring Robin's emotional state. Mentioning the anniversary directly introduces a key story element and source of Robin's inner turmoil. The poetic language of the raindrops as glistening reminders of tears she could no longer cry, shows an original way of how Robin's grief has evolved over the years since the loss. Starting with her dreading this painful milestone creates reader empathy and interest to see her healing journey unfold in line with contemporary romance conventions. So, yeah, this was amazing. And credit-wise, 14,000 credits. I'm gonna say totally worth it for that, because these are some great suggestions and they could set the tone for the whole rest of the story. Like, I would change the opening. I would delete this entire chapter and work with either one of these or a combination of them, and then use Bangarite from there to continue the chapter, because then I'll get the language that I want from it. You just threw this together? Because this is
Yes.
amazing.
I started with a JSON that I used for Megawrite and then completely tore it to shreds.
Oh,
and
that
just
makes a lot of
rewrote it.
sense because yeah, it uses a lot. Okay. Yeah, this is great. Now if you want to write great opening lines, you really don't need any of the other plugins I showed you today. This is amazing. Use Claire's. It's called Brilliant Opening Lines Opus.
Yeah, I'll make up some versions for Sonnet and Haiku as well, and add a couple more banned
Yeah.
words. I would ban the idea of the sunlight, but I've noticed I think it only used it in one of each of the three each time
Yeah, which was
you
impressive
ran it,
because
so that's okay.
because 2 out of 3 of them did mention the sun or the time of day in the test. So wow, that was great. Now it's
And of
kind
course,
of,
if you run it with nothing, it gives you a cool opening line for any random novel,
yeah.
which is kind
Yeah,
of cool.
you can run it with absolutely nothing and just get some writing ideas, and you can be like, "Oh, there's a great story I could write."
You could give it a genre at least.
Hmm. Yeah, I didn't give it anything for that one where it was like nothing. Actually,
Nice.
let's try that grim dark science.
Science, sci-fi fairy tale. Do it. Oh,
Let's just see. Or it can, do that on me. No, we're not gonna do that. Okay.
I think I'll add the ability to highlight text. Like if you want to, it will
Oh, it
read it.
doesn't look at highlighted text?
Not at the moment, no. No,
Okay.
it's literally
Oh,
only
that
working off
makes
Story
sense.
Bible,
That
which
makes
is what I
sense why
said.
it
That's what
didn't
the
give me
instructions
anything
say,
there.
Karistina. It
Okay.
does say Story Bible. But yeah, I can add
Yeah,
highlighted text as well.
My mind was working
You
both
were
too
blown away
fast
by my
and too
brilliance.
slow at the same time. I can show you my plugin. It's not going to slap nearly as much as do I not? Oh, it's just the weird added bug, the visual display bug, because I should have it added. It's mine. Um, I called this opening lines that slap. I based it on the other plugin that I opened with that was called Better Openers, but clearly Claire has a better idea for it. I tried telling it in the system part of it. You are a best-selling author with a reputation for compelling opening lines and opening paragraphs that grab readers' attention from the start. You know that great opening lines can be humor. I give it a bunch of examples of actual first lines of novels. Humorous. The story so far in the beginning, the universe was created. This has made a lot of people very angry and has been widely regarded as a bad move. Or captured the main character's personality perfectly. The building was on fire and it wasn't my fault. Introduce unique elements of the setting. It was a bright cold day in April and the clocks were striking 13. Introduce unusual slang of or dialects. The sweat was lashing over sick boy. He was I can't use that accent. Provide backstory. I first met Dean not long after my wife and I split up, or hook readers in other ways. You know which type of opening line works best for any given story. And I have it look at the highlighted text and the genre. We're going to save this quickly because I had that one typo in it. This uses Mistral Medium. It could use different models, but this is the one I chose to play around with. And we are looking for slap. Opening lines that slap. Let's see if this can do anything even. Oh, wait, right. I I forgot. I changed the genre for the grimdark one, not for the rockstar romance. So this this gives me a great alternate universe opening line. In the shadowed crevices of a decaying metropolis where the echoes of laughter had been long replaced by the hum of malfunctioning drones, Robin crouched in the spectral gloom, her cybernetic gaze locked on the flickering hollow display of a discarded data pad. I mean, that's pretty epic if that's what the story was I was writing. But let's try changing this to contemporary romance. And the credits I used for running that here was 2,974. But let's try this again with a better genre since it looks at genre. Yep. Definitely. Oh, okay. So I screwed that up. Let's find my slap.
Karistina,
Yes.
did you mean to publish this one?
Yes. But it's not currently in anything like its first, and it's not, I'm not using any of this prose right now. Oh, this wants me to start in the cafe that they're supposed to bring my main character to in the middle of the chapter. So yeah, that's not really helpful. This class is now officially instead of opening line plugins, it's just brilliant opening lines. Use Claire's plugin if you want a good opening line for your story because you're struggling with it.
I've added the ability to use highlighted text if you want to try it. You can
Excellent.
toggle Story Bible off because I'm using Liquid
Okay.
in the prompting, so it just won't look at Story Bible if it's off. In
All right,
theory, I haven't had a chance to try it. It should try and rewrite the opening line. Or you can have
Okay,
Story
let
Bible on
me
if you want.
just try this one because it didn't have a story Bible to begin with. Oh, I think I need to
Don't forget to refresh. Yeah.
It should,
Certainly did it a few
it
minutes ago.
shouldn't require a refresh. It drives me
But it
crazy.
does.
Nope. Okay, what am I doing here?
More people should know how to use Liquid in plugins.
I don't know how to use Liquid, so I am among them. Why? Okay.
Even if all you use is the pass this to the final prompt if it's there option, which is what I used in this one.
Yeah.
Because that one's really easy.
Yep. Okay. it's not. I don't remember how far down you were, so
I didn't rename it, I promise.
yeah, I don't know why it's being obnoxious about finding it. Here
There
it
it
is,
is.
really open lines.
I love that name, Midkiff.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Maybe it's looking for a
I
capital B in brilliant.
grabbed it. Like I said, this was based on a role-playing campaign we did, and it was on a list of possible first names for characters, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna use that as last name because it's amazing. So here we've got darkness smothered the hive world of Cerebra as thick and suffocating as the corruption that had infested its noble houses. That's amazing. That's a great opening line. Yeah, explanation. This opening line immediately sets an ominous and grim tone, drawing the reader in with vivid imagery. It introduces the key setting of the high world Cerebra and Cereba. I've been pronouncing it wrong. I created it, and hints at the corruption and intrigue among the noble houses that will likely be central to the plot. The metaphorical comparison of the darkness to corruption aligns with the grimdark genre conventions. Opening line 2. Sister Ophelia's hands were as adept at wielding a flail as they were at offering a gentle touch, a dichotomy forged in the unforgiving crucible of the Adepta Sororitas. Okay, so this did not. I somehow missed where it says Adepta Sororitas because I changed that to something else. So it's not a licensed term from from Warhammer 40K. This line introduces the protagonist Ophelia and establishes her as a complex character, capable of both violence and compassion. It piques reader interest by hinting at her background with the organization that is not supposed to be called the Adepta Sororitas, and suggests she has been shaped by hardships. The contrast and religious undertones fit the grim dark sci-fi genre. Or we're just completely ripping off Warhammer 40K right now, and in the grim darkness of the far future, there was only the treachery of nobles, the zeal of the faithful, and the cold certainty of death, a triptych of misery that had long defined life on Cereba. Okay. Yeah, playing off the iconic grim darkness of the far future line from Warhammer 40K. Yeah, I think they'd have a problem with that, actually.
I love it. It's like, oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah. Like, I think you missed the point. We're trying not to have it sound just like Warhammer 40K.
But this is really great that it gives us this explanation about why
It
it's
does.
doing it. It's
Like,
so nice because some people might not know that that's where it's being lifted from or
you're
homage
just
to.
brilliant. This is brilliant. Um, and this brings us to time on the class too. Like, I I have only one point. Like, just use this family of plugins that's about to exist if you want to if you need help with your opening lines, because they're amazing and worth however many credits it costs. With the disclaimer that the more Story Bible information you have, the higher the cost is going to be. But you know, that's okay. Um, because sometimes you want it to boil everything down for you and just nail that opening line, and it delivers. The hardest part of using it, I think, is choosing which suggestion you want to actually use, and then obviously editing it a little bit to make it perfect.
I'll crank it up to 5 then, just for you, Karistina.
Oh.
Then you'll have to choose from 5.
But yeah, this yeah, just use that don't use anything else. If you would like to, we were gonna workshop mine, but you already blew it out of the water. So yeah, you can take a look at this plugin.
Maybe, sorry. Do you want to do
No,
more
go.
of look at the other ones that you did have to look at, or maybe we should show people how to use an open plugin and create it in a different,
Oh yeah.
see what happens. Yeah. Workshop
Like
that.
everything I have here, it was already based on somebody else's plugin, and kind of right now I want to be like, all right, so Claire, let us see this whole thing here, and that allows you to copy the instructions and put it into your own plugin here. And just for fun, I'd keep my system thing the same. And you can just go in and if you want to add or remove any prohibited words, you can add them here or take them away if you happen to want tapestries or something in your opening line. I wouldn't recommend that, but you can adjust things and add I don't know. Are these variables? I I don't know what to call them. I don't know what these are called, like the set tone and mood or align with genre conventions.
Those are like attributes of
Attributes,
a
that's the word.
particular, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you can
JSON
come up with
attributes.
other attributes, you can add them. Like there's so much you could do.
So those specifically are like attributes of requirements. You see,
Mhm.
engage reader true, set tone and mood true. Those are all owned by requirements.
And that's
And
Yeah,
then
because they're
it
inside the closing tag.
Yep.
moves
See,
to
there's one,
prohibited words, and that's where
yeah,
you add your prohibited words.
Yes.
inside those square brackets.
We could put a
Now,
space in
I
between the
am
two
not a
things to make it easier to see.
yeah, I'm not a coding type of person, but I can see it's very easy to see where things go, where you have the requirements with the curly brackets, and then you have the prohibited words with the square brackets, and you have to close all of the brackets at the end that you have open. This is more advanced type of plugin building because it's not just plain text like writing other plugins might. But if you understand how to edit it, you can just go in and I could be like, you know what? I like the word actually. I'm just gonna delete that from the prohibited words. I'm not really, but I do use the word actually way too often. So I would need to include that. But I could also add, let's see. Oh, you already have testament in there. But we'll put determined. We're gonna put determined in there as well. And you have the word inside the quotation marks and you have the comma outside the quotation marks, which is different than American writing conventions, which would be to put stuff inside the quotation marks.
That's
But
actually JSON convention.
yes,
Nothing to do with English versus
since this is
American
JSON
coding.
code, you need to unlearn what you do for actual writing. Because otherwise
Although,
it's
if you mess it up, it's not going to be too big of a problem because the AI will know what you were trying to do.
well, that's good to know. Since it
Yeah.
is reading this as an AI and not just
Exactly. With this, the only thing that's not being read as an AI is the stuff that's in Liquid.
mhm.
which is the if is Story Bible active, that's then
Okay.
closed just before if highlighted text. You see I've got two end ifs after chapter beat.
Yes.
So if the Story Bible's active, it will read any of those if they exist.
That's fascinating.
And if it's not, it will only read highlighted text if you've highlighted anything. And if you leave it blank, it'll make stuff up, as we discovered.
Yes, as we discovered. And I'm actually going to learn quite a bit just from looking at this and figuring out what, if anything, I'd want to do to play with it. Maybe just with a different model. But I'm not saving this right now because I don't know what I don't want to just have it like the same as yours. I would definitely need to change things, maybe genre specific or something. But yeah, so we learned as we went today, including me, about opening line plugins and what makes them good. And what makes them really good is both using a really intelligent model like Opus and using some more advanced plugin writing techniques using JSON and Liquid code, which should probably do a class on that at some point. I'll look at the schedule coming up and see if we can't work something out with maybe a guest teacher, since I am a student of this at this point in time. Thank you for coming this week to Plugin School. This was our openers class. Next week, I believe, it's optimize something. Hold on, I'll grab it. I'll figure this out. It is optimizing plugin descriptions. So next week is basically my updated best practices class for plugin authors, where we will be talking all about how to optimize your plugin descriptions to make them more user-friendly so people know what to do. All right. Let me pull up my Zoom controls and we are going to stop the recording.